Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, from the brother elders Yahshua. Shalom and salutations to you all. All right, so this guy Lionel is very geopolitically inclined. All right, here we have Glenn Beck. I'm not talking about Glenn Beck, but what is he talking about? Blueprint for regime change. What's going on in America? What's going on in Babylon the Great right now? Babylon the Great is being stolen from the people by the technocrats. Okay, and Babylon the Great does regime change all over the world. Now they're bringing it home. Okay, what they are so good at doing everywhere else, right? Except for in Venezuela, they failed in the last 8 years. Okay, but they're real good at regime change, going way back to the Ayatollahs. But anyway, the Shah and such. But that's what they do. And these guys are telling you right now how, even before Trump came into office, they did a regime change on Babylon. All right, so let's see. What is that about coveting? Coveting fields. Let's start there. Covet fields. Covet means. Like covet means. That's in a famous JFK speech. Watch, let me grab it. Let's see. Covet mean. I wonder if I could get a JFK speech. Might not bring it up. Covet means. Okay, I just want to snip it. There's a snippet. Ruthless conspiracy. Bear with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it.
Listen to what they're talking about. Deception at the highest level. This is what they're talking about.
Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning.
We're looking at this now.
To the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means.
A ruthless, listen to that. Listen to all those, right at 144. Look at that. Listen to the words in that one sentence alone.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine.
Okay, that's the devil. We all understand that. Here they are. This is the devil he was talking about. And what are they doing right now? Let's get, let's see. Did we already get this? No, that's so lucky. Micah 2:2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man of his heritage. The things that they were coveting, right? They are going to get them, right? And that's what's being said here. Get a 2 Corinthians 2:11. We know about these things, in order that Satan should not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. Let's get the KJV real quick. Lest, where are we at? 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his device. We know what this devil is doing. But Lionel, not this guy, but Lionel's going to break down exactly what the devil is doing, right? He can tell you what he's coveting, what he wishes to happen at the end of all of this, and how they've been doing it before Trump even got in office. So I'm going to just let him talk. It's about, it might be 8 good minutes. Okay, go ahead.
This is what was required, as per Obama's administration, to topple a country. Are you ready? You need a semi-automatic regime, not fully autocratic. It has to be semi. You have to have an unpopular incumbent.
See, they're talking regime change, so let me move it forward. Let's get to Lionel. He can break it down, because Babylonians are experts at regime change.
Sounds like we have all of those.
They're doing it here.
Pay attention very carefully. Listen to what I'm saying, because what we are looking at, and what I'm looking at, what we should be staring at is not politics. It is the blueprint for a slow-motion overthrow of a constitutional republic. And
Covet means they covet fields. What fields? Babylon the Great. Whoever these people are, it came in and overthrew Trump. Right? Now Trump is just a big bumbling idiot being pushed around, being told what the hell to do before they unmasked the queen.
you think this is theater, if you think this is just exaggeration, listen to the dialogue, because the script is in English. The actors are America's bureaucracy, and the production is funded by American taxpayers.
Listen to how articulate he is and how he understands every avenue of what's going on. Okay, this dude is very sharp, and he's letting you know. He's breaking down the devil in the details.
Never agreed to bankroll a domestic revolution waged against their own vote. Do you hear what I'm saying? The Office of Transition Initiatives, OTI, was designed to destabilize foreign governments suspected of autocracy. Now that machinery is being aimed at America, at us, at you, and they were proud of it. These are professional regime specialists boasting that once Trump won, they suddenly found time, networks, and moral justification to topple him from inside his own government. And that isn't oversight. That's sedition. Sedition with business cards. And when the roadmap is clear,
there shall be sedition among men. Okay, I'm gonna let him talk. Let me get that, and I'm gonna just let him cook. Let's see, sedition. That's in is that a 15? Slucky, let me look it up on the phone. I don't know where my phone is. And invading one another. Sedition among men and invading one another. Standing in, that is Second Ezra, Salaki. I'm trying to remember. Second Ezra is 15, I believe. Bear with me while I try to use my brain. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. No, that should be sedition. For there it is. Call all Yahweh. And this is, this is milk and the things you learn in the beginning. That's why it's so hard for me to recall, because it was so long ago. These are the first oracles. No, I mean, you know what I mean. Second Ezra's 15 and 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Okay, I just wanted to read that because he said that. He brought up sedition. Why not use it? Okay, now I'm going to let him talk from here on out. He's breaking down this devil's details. Listen, all of it is regime change. They already did it. Trump is a lame nut.
sedition with business cards.
Sedition he's saying sedition by the technocrats.
From inside his own government. And that isn't oversight. That's sedition. Sedition with business cards. And when the roadmap is clear, they don't march in uniform. They appear as 10,000 separate little nonprofits. Climate cells here and gender cells there and faith-based dialogue groups, union workshops, racial justice subcommittees, mental health hubs, every aspect you can imagine. Even juror training projects teaching nullification, how to acquit political allies, even when the defendant is clearly guilty. 10,000 names, one network, they wait. And when the order arrives, they call it coordination. But professionals know the word, activation. This is not organic. Nothing about this is grassroots. It doesn't grow from the soil. It grows from the treasury, from grants, from university chairs, from foundations obsessed with global governance and allergic to American sovereignty. Johns Hopkins alone has received $25 billion, it is reported, in a decade. You think it's all for medical research? Hell no. They admit the goal is bridging domestic an international democracy transition. What the hell does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. Translation: foreign regime change tactics now practiced at home, here.
Pay attention.
At what point does that become a crime? At what point does that transition into criminality? They even wrote their playbook. First, move communications off government servers. Second, smear whistleblowers as disinformationists. Third, activate protest networks. Fourth, weaponize DEI to link every conceivable fringe into one massive blob that looks organic but moves like a trained battalion. And then comes even better. And then comes the closer, lawfare. Quietly surround the legal system, bury investigations, train jurors to nullify verdicts. They don't need to win elections when they can win indictments. Oh, it's beautiful. And they warn us. They warn us constantly about domestic authoritarianism. Sounds good, right? They don't mean Putin. They don't mean Iran. They mean the 45th president of the United States. See, the man elected by voters that they don't trust, the man the founders prepared for with checks and balances, the man they treat like a virus while presenting themselves as the immune system. And the media, the media nod right along. They don't know. They don't really care. They're proxies, they're sock puppets. And not because it's true, but because the bureaucracy happens to serve the narrative. It gets even better. They call this saving democracy, but they're dismantling the right to choose leadership at all. First they say you voted wrong. Then they say you can't vote on this at all. And then they whisper the line used in every authoritarian takeover in history. We had to save the system from the voters. We had to save the system from the voters themselves. They're the ones that are the problem. And the next phase, they told us themselves. They want to build new socio-political, economic governance systems. What the hell does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means a phrase that should chill every American alive. That's not reform, that's replacement. A shadow government built under ours, using compassionate language to justify censorship, surveillance, intimidation, and controlled dissent. And when they decide there is constitutional danger, the election becomes irrelevant. The administrative state takes the wheel. The three-letter agencies become horsemen, and the definition of democracy becomes whatever scares them the least. But they fear one thing, exposure. Not
Stop it. Then shall that wicked be revealed. Exposure.
age, not slogans, precision, subpoena, retrieval of every signal chat, and encrypted directive. Full audit of every USAID partner organization. Track the contracts, track the university grants, track the training manuals. Because once this leaks off X and lands in a courtroom, their language collapses. A judge can't be gaslit. If President Trump returns with a pen and a spine to that which we know, this network can be dismantled. Records can be seized, funding cut, oversight restored. If not, a precedent will be cemented. Because the moment arresting presidents becomes normal, it becomes permanent. And then elections are simply the mask worn by the ruling class to mimic consent. That's what's happening. See, they think they think you'll do nothing. They think you'll argue over slogans while they quietly write the new rule book in encrypted chats. They hope for Republican politeness. They pray for conservative fatigue. And they expect Americans to shrug their shoulders while they harden the machinery of a managed state behind the glass of philanthropy and justice. And they hope that you're going to be too busy worrying about things like, oh, I don't know, death threats to famous conservative commentators or conservatives who are stepping down or internecine battles between conservative commentators. They want you to keep busy with that. That's a distraction. This is what I've been telling you. But we do not belong to them. This republic is older than their playbook. It's stronger than their network. And it's built on the idea that still exists, by the way, that power answers to the citizen, not the donor. Voters don't need approval to defend their own voice. They only need courage. And history has never cared about the timid. Tyranny does not frighten me, shouldn't frighten you. Cowardice does. The next 100 days may decide the next 100 years. And the choice is not subtle. We will either surrender to a network of nonprofits or defend our constitutional republic. Because votes mean nothing when the people counting them believe they work for someone higher than the voter. This isn't democracy. This is rule without consent. And that, my friend, is exactly what our founders warned us about. So now it is staring us in the face. What are we going to do about it, my friends? What are we going to do? We're going to arm ourselves with the truth. We're going to pay attention and focus, and we're not going to let them do it to us. You understand this? We are not going to be taken over by these people, period.
Woo.
I've always liked Lionel and respected him. That was a hole-in-one.
Well, so what did he just say? We're not going to let them do it. That's every hand of the wicked. The laborers. So, just the whole diabolical plan. Let's start there. Let's get Genesis 3. And 1. Here's what's going on. This devil, the serpent, was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made. Period. I'm going to just stop right there. The serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made. He's getting all this done and people don't even know it. Okay? All right, you got bunglers like Hegseth and Trump out there in front. Everybody's laughing and distracted. While this guy, even before Trump came into office, they had already stolen or completed the regime change. All right, so, I mean, crazy. But what's going to happen? He's not going to succeed. Let's get this. This is the other part of the CHIP, that control setup. You have to have the infrastructure along with the CHIP. What am I looking for? Job 20 and 23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and it shall rain upon him. While he is eating, we're about to watch this go down, so it's not going to come to fruition. Lionel is correct. What did he say? We're not going to allow them to do it? What does that mean?
You understand this? We are not going to be taken over by these people, period.
I've always liked Lionel and respected him. That was a hole-in-one.
This is Job 20 and 22. I'm going to close right here. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So we're getting to the good part. Hang in there. Swang in there. And with that, we hope that the elect ratified. You brothers and few sisters, shalom.